Yo, welcome to another Speaker Geeker podcast. I'm your host, Steve-O Steve.
And I'm Tommy T, the other host, the other half of the Derby Boys. I'm in here. What's good, bro?
What's going on, man?
Man, another week. Made it through.
Look
now we're getting prepared for this next week. So
you're going to have to forgive me. The sun is hot outside. I feel drained. We've been out doing a couple of things, but man, I'm good to go, man.
Yeah.
I'm good to go. I get my energy. Yeah,
you definitely will, man.
Yeah.
It's cool, man. Hey, so I'm excited about this episode, bro, because but really because of what's going on, and it just happened to fall the way it is, the way it's falling. But it's June, and June has been certified as officially, like it's in the House passed this. June is Black Music Month. Actually, it's called African American Music Month, which was changed back in 2009 by President Obama. So that's what this episode is about. Black African American Music Month, aka Black Music Month. And we're just gonna kind of go through it and talk about that. So, but before we do all of that, before anything else happens, bro, what's been in your speakers this week, man?
So, man, my speakers, it's just simple, man. I've been on that Nipsey.
Yeah.
That pretty much. And then, man, back on that Freddie Gibbs.
Mm-hmm.
And, man, I tried to get that new little Yachty, that Lil Boat 3. I tried to give it a listen, but I couldn't do it. I was like, nah, bro, this ain't it. So
this ain't for you.
Well, yeah, it ain't for me. It's for someone, but just not for Steve. All right, and that's all good.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then also kind of going back to last week's episode with Money Mark. Man, I went off and I listened to Coke Boomaye down in Alabama.
Yeah,
I like Holmes. I'm rocking with him. I'm rocking with him for sure. So y'all check out Coke Boomaye. He's from Alabama, man. Hey, he hard. Hard. I like him. Also, Sid, from the internet, another thing that Money Mark suggested. I realized I knew who she was, and I've been listening to her this whole time.
Right.
So I end up, when I looked her up, what came across was the Queen of Slim.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, when I heard the song, I was like, dang, this is one of my favorite songs from this whole soundtrack. So I've been listening to Sid like this whole time and didn't have a clue of who she was.
Didn't have a clue that was her.
Not at all. Not at all. So definitely got on some Sid, some Coke Boomaye. Besides that, I'm trying to look through. I'm kind of all over the place. I haven't been on the music as much this week. That's why it hasn't been too much. But I kind of been all over the place because I've been doing some research on this one particular person who kind of like, I don't know if they kind of got up under my skin real bad, but yeah, we'll probably talk about that a little more in the next. But yeah, man, that's pretty much what's been in my speakers. What's been in your speakers, man?
Bruh, I don't know why, but I went through Killer Mike. Like I had a week of Killer Mike this week. Run the Jewels 4 came out. I like it. I like what they're talking about. I like the lyrics. I went back and listened to a few of their tracks too. They're a pretty good group, man.
Oh yeah, I've been on that for a little while, man.
See, I stopped listening to Killer Mike. It's only like Killer Mike has always been like dope to me, but it's like one of those artists I just didn't listen to. Like if he has a song come on or something like that, one of his old songs, I'm gonna rock out to it because it's straight. Cause I like it, but I ain't just be like, let me go listen to some Killer Mike. You know what I'm saying? So this week I took time out to check out Run the Jewels 4, and their beat selection is something that I like. This just stood out to me. It ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? But I listened to what they were actually talking about.
Yeah.
So that was one. Who else did I listen to this week? Same as you, like with Lil Yachty. I tried, bro. Like I can't do it.
Nope.
I just wasn't feeling it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
I listened to Ro James. Ro James came out with an album a few weeks ago, I believe, Mantic. And I gave that a listen. I probably made it through the first 6 songs, and then I was like, man, let me go listen to something else. So,
man, I ain't really rocked with Ro James in a minute.
Yeah,
like I haven't heard nothing since that first initial track that caught me.
Yeah,
I haven't heard nothing else that was like, yeah,
right.
It's been kind of like, okay,
right, and that's how I felt, man. Permission was the one that caught my eye with Ro James, and that's what made me start listening to him.
Yeah,
you know, and after that, it's just kind of been like, oh, okay,
yeah,
whatever.
Pretty much been hit or miss, man. Hit or miss.
What else have I listened to, man? Kind of going through here. I don't think I had any new artists that I listened to this week. No, I take that back. I did have somebody that I never listened to before. Got Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah.
Listen to that. The Sleepy Hollow presents something like that. I listened to that. I still need to go back and listen to it.
I forgot one artist that I have been listening to.
Who's that?
Man, he's actually one of my favorite artists is on the low. His name is Schoolie. He is with
yeah, I know who you talking about. Schoolie Straight.
I've been listening to his new joint that he put out. And I've been rocking with Schoolie for a long time.
I just found out about Schoolie. Yeah. No, I found out who he was and a couple songs that he did I listened to before, but you know,
for everyone out there, if you don't know who Schoolie is, if you remember a group called the Rich Kids, he was in that group, and he was signed to Grand Hustle for a little while, and now he's with 2 Chainz label.
Yeah, that's
for a while now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I rock with Schoolie.
Yeah, definitely. He's super cool. And that's pretty much what's been in my speakers. And Drake. I went back and listened to Dark Lane demo tape.
No.
Yeah. No. Just had to go back and do something.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but that's what's been in my speakers, bro. What news have you heard this week, man?
So this has been a week. Yeah, man. So there's an article out there about Wayne, and he pretty much doubled down on the whole thing about the George Floyd situation and all of that. So I don't really know. At this point, I like Wayne, and at this point, I kind of want Wayne just to shut the hell up,
just be quiet.
Yeah, just stay over there. And I mean, it's cool. It's his opinion. Yeah. Some of it I get, but right now, just ain't the time to be. I guess to be on that and kind of against all that's going on. So, yeah, man. Check out that article with Wayne.
Who is it? Where is it?
You can find it on Complex.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, find it on Complex where Wayne pretty much doubled down on this whole thing about the George Floyd situation. And yeah, man, if you that was an original article, and pretty much, yeah, you can kind of tell that Wayne was just kind of, I don't know, man, I think he's just out of touch.
Yeah.
And yeah, because of that, I don't know. but yeah, he doubled down on the whole racism and police brutality stance. Talking about no judge, no one for no reason.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But man, yeah. I don't know.
What I was gonna say was he did an interview with that's what I was listening to before we actually start recording. He did an interview with Killer Mike. Mm-hmm. And I was just trying to figure out what he was, where he was going with that. He was like, some of his words got taken like out of context. I don't really see like I'm with you on that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes like Wayne has admittedly said that he lives in a bubble, which in some cases he does, in some cases he doesn't. But this is one of those cases. It's like, I respect your opinion. Do I agree with your opinion? No. Everybody has an opinion about anything. I respect that. But
so let me read something real quick.
Go ahead.
What he said. So from what he said, this was his quote in this complex. What he said was, "My life was saved when I was young." He's referring to when he shot himself. Shot myself. My life was saved by a white cop, Uncle Bob. Wayne reiterated during his radio show. So therefore, you have to understand the way I view police, period. There was a bunch of black cops that jumped over me by that door with the hole in my chest. He refused to. So when you hear that, I get it. You know, I get kind of what he sees and where he's coming from. But yeah, I don't. I mean,
you just can't agree with it. You know, from what you. But it's also with that situation, it has a lot to do with his own experience.
Yeah, and everybody's gonna view stuff differently,
right?
And that's the thing. Like, people got to understand, like everybody's gonna have a different viewpoint. Some people gonna be like, "Hey, man, I ain't never had an issue with the police, so I ain't got blah blah blah," and that's fine. But when you're looking, when it's right there in front of your face, and someone's literally dying because a police officer is being very negligent, reckless, and you know, in our communities, the truth is we do have more situation with the police, but when someone's literally dies in front of you and it's your fault, and as a police officer, like, I get it. Like, I mean, there's some good cops that I know that, you know, don't have an issue with it all, but there has to be a change. Something has to be reevaluated when it comes to police officers and African American folks. Not only that, I mean, shoot, you know, there's you know, white individuals who died from, you know, by cops as well. But that's not what we're talking about, because the media don't show that part. They just show us. And at that point, you know, like, I get it. Wayne has a personal experience with this one cop, and that's fine. But best believe that the whole thing about, you know, that blue wall of silence, it became the you or the rest of his cop friends. What you think he gonna do? So at some point, I get it, but right now, and I'm not saying to fall in line, but if you know, at some point you might want to just be quiet. You had the good experience, that's cool, but right now, man just died. You know what I'm saying? And the whole world got to see it. So, and that could easily have been you. You know what I'm saying? Very easy. So, yeah, man. So that's what I got, man, on one thing. The next thing that I've been kind of irritated with is it's a young lady by the name of Candace Owens.
Candace Owens, yep.
So
know exactly who you're talking about.
She put out a video, and
I didn't watch it because
I ended up watching it.
Did you?
Yeah, I ended up watching some of it. My wife actually had it on. And the crazy thing was, I completely forgot who she was. So I was just standing. I was like, what in the world? What's her deal? Yeah. But she put out a video talking about she would not support George Floyd, and he's not a martyr, and this man was a criminal, and so on and so forth, and supposedly done read off his, you know, the stuff he's been arrested for, and all of that, blah, blah, blah. And after that, man, I kind of went and I just Googled the crap out of it, because I was like, what is her deal? Because I didn't get it. And finally, I was reminded of who she was when I saw the when she was on stage with Tip, Killer Mike, and they was at that it was Revolt music conference. Yeah. And they were speaking, and I was like, oh, okay, now I remember who she is. But man, at this point, man, you know, that's another person I feel just kind of, I'm trying to understand her and what her deal is.
Yeah.
I hear her talk. I hear her spit off a bunch of, numbers and statistics, but I don't know, man. She just talks like, I feel like it's an act for one.
Yeah.
But because like as she grew up, she went through a whole racial issue, and the NAACP actually ended up helping their family get money from this. So it's interesting to see her switch to just completely just being, and I get some of the stuff makes sense, like absentee fathers and stuff, but
yeah,
she's talking about America wasn't, built on, America isn't racist, and she's a Trump supporter, which is fine, support Trump, whatever. But man, she's one of those people that downs our culture so much, but yeah, she's one of us. Yeah. So it feels almost like something that T.I. said, that she's planted here to just make, make chaos and stuff. Cause I really don't believe, like, I think it's all an act. Yeah. I really do. And I just like, bruh, like, come on.
I don't listen to her because I'm with you. I think it's some type of different motive behind that. The issue that I have, and this is something that I'm practicing myself, is when I don't have anything nice to say, just don't say anything.
Yeah, man.
When you read, like, and literally, I like, if it's nothing good to say that will be productive towards the conversation or productive towards somebody achieving their goal or anything like that, I don't say anything, because that's the best thing I can do. For when you, like, I seen the saw the video, but I didn't watch it. But for her to say that, to bring up, to say that he's a criminal and blah this and blah that, I feel like whatever you did yesterday doesn't mean anything when you're like in his situation. What he did the day before doesn't have anything to do with his death. And I'm talking about George Floyd's death. If he was a criminal, if he was a whatever he was, it doesn't have anything to do with his death and the act of him dying. Because one thing that we all can say is he didn't deserve to die.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's really,
and that's what it boils down to.
That's what it's all about. Like, I'm finna get on you. I don't normally try to talk it, right?
Right.
I don't really try to fool with politics.
I know
certain stuff, but I'm about to get on my soapbox because I've seen some of the most disrespectful crap, man, and like forever. And the fact that people will gloss over the fact that there's a man that lost his life to the hands of the police. I don't give a rat's ass of what he did. Yeah. The point of the matter is the man's gone and he shouldn't have been. Right. At the end of the day, if he would have got arrested and put in a cell, would he been put on death row?
No.
I don't know, but I'm assuming it wasn't that bad. And, he was eventually going to come home. The fact that he was arrested and he dies, in that hands in police custody is an issue, period. Yeah. This has happened too many times. People are pissed off.
Way too many times.
And, I mean, it's only going to continue to get worse if there's not a fix being put in. If it's
not something done.
Because I've seen some of the, like, at some point we got to hold people's feet to the fire. The whole Drew Brees situation.
Oh Lord!
Hey, look here.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Look, I'm proud of the NFL.
Look, I will accept an apology
up to a point.
I will accept the apology as like the next man. But at some point, people need to have their feet held to the fire. Sometimes, when people say stuff the first time, most time that's exactly what they meant.
That's what they meant. Exactly. Drew Brees meant that, bro.
Exactly.
He meant
and
that.
I don't get, at some point you're kind of like, bro, you said it. I believe you meant it, and it's fine. Apologize, it's cool. But eventually, man, you gotta start holding these feet to the fire. Like you said, I'm proud of the NFL to a certain point. Like, now y'all want to jump on the bandwagon. Cool. Thanks for saying something, but now you want to jump on the bandwagon when
You at least got to apologize to Cap.
Yeah, that's what Kaepernick was talking about this whole time.
Hashtag apologize to Cap.
I agree. And also other folks that we don't know. Look, man, look here. I got plenty of friends of Caucasian descent. One of my close friends, his name is David Drummond. Yeah. Hey, I love him like a brother. I don't care about nobody's skin color. I don't give a. I really don't. It doesn't matter to me as long as you got, you're a good soul with a good heart. None of that really matters to me as much. I'm gonna treat most people the same way.
Yeah.
I don't care if you got $1 billion or if you got 2. You know what I'm saying? So for me, the stuff I've seen online, like, that's racist, like the whole Miss Universe.
I forgot about that. I saw that.
Yeah. That thing talking about you choose to be born. Like, all right, look here.
That's just stupid,
Stop making
man.
the stupid. You're making yourselves look bad. Stop making stupid, irrelevant comments. At the end of the day, a man lost his life. And there should be zero tolerance for it, period. Because at the end of the day, it could have easily been you. It could have easily been anyone. You understand? Like,
yeah. And one thing I want to say before we move to the next subject or anything is for people that's listening, this movement, these protests and everything are for George Floyd, but it's also encompassing everything else that has happened.
Absolutely.
So I don't want people to get confused. Oh, he was this, oh, he was that. No, it's encompassing. It's like you build and like people trying to say something, you basically back people into a corner. And now it's time to fight to get out this corner, because every attempt that has been made to make a change for what's going on, this hadn't just started happening yesterday or 2 weeks or a month ago. This is years of fighting.
Yeah.
So at this point, it boils over to a point to where it's like, okay, we see your point. And now it's more people that's understanding what's going on, or more people that's trying to understand what's going on. Now you do have those folks that we have just mentioned that's like, don't get it, but they're not trying to get it. You know what I'm saying? So there's a difference there.
Because it's exactly, when we say Black Lives Matter, we don't mean that no one else is done.
Right.
Like if you think that you are, like, I don't want to call people names, but I'm gonna be honest. Like if you think that's what we're saying, then you are probably
the issue.
Absolute
you're
problem.
Part of the problem.
I'm gonna be honest. At some point, you just gotta own your racism. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of people out here who are just racist, but they do not want to accept it, and then fix the problem. Because it's a lot of them that are, because they never see a problem with some of the things they do, and then until we look at them crazy, and then they're like, "Oh, I did something wrong."
Right.
Think before you speak.
Ask.
And some people, ask. And then some people stop trying to clout chase, because there's some people who just saying stuff to get some attention. I feel like the whole Miss Universe, that lady, I think it was just all to get attention.
The Candace Owens lady, I think she just do it for attention.
Yeah, whatever her personal agenda is, but man, she got to get up out of it, because she's not doing nothing but hindering. I get it. Her whole thing is about the Republican Party and this and that, but
I don't feel like this situation is about politics at all. It ain't about parties. It's about human beings.
I think
and being right with people.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. But that's what it should be about.
Right.
But it's all boiling down to, well, Democrats this, and it's all the.
That's what some people
are trying to use it as a party, as a power
some
play.
People, but hey, man, you gotta keep. You gotta
at the end of the day, man, a life is a life, bro.
Right.
Like, period. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, period. And for people to try to skirt around and try to victim blame or say, hey, what about this person? Look, man, shut up. That ain't about that. You got to understand, like, this has been going on too long. I always look at this as, there was an interview by Tupac, right?
Yeah.
And he talked about how America is just so greedy. You know what I'm saying? It's gimme, gimme, gimme. Everybody bag up. And then he talks about how, people Like if you are in a hotel and behind this door, you know it's food behind it, and you knock on and you ask nicely the first time and act like you're not there. And then you ask again and it's another no, and you ask again, it's another no. Eventually it's gonna get to the point where people are gonna be kicking down the door and they're gonna come in, they're gonna take it.
Right.
I think, you know what I'm saying, folks are at this point where they're fed up with this. Has happened. It happened last year. It's happened so many times, and people
a week before George Floyd was killed. It happened 2 months before all this happened. Like,
absolutely.
It's constantly happening.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, you
know, sit back and think about it, man. You know what I'm saying? Sit back and think about it, because
if you don't understand,
ask
somebody,
or be quiet, or just.
I don't feel like anybody should be quiet. I feel like if you don't understand and you don't see the point, ask somebody that does understand. Ask somebody that you feel comfortable with talking. And as a Black man, I feel comfortable with talking with anybody about my experience and everything, and the outlook that I have on everything, and what I see is what's going on, and we can have a discussion about it. You know, I don't punish people until they say something. I don't. You know, I ain't gonna say punish, but what people say is what I believe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mean, when I say be quiet, I mean, if you're gonna come over here and say some negative stuff, then be
don't
quiet.
Say nothing
that's
negative.
That's what we ain't with that.
Yeah, that's unnecessary.
Yeah, we ain't with that. But, you know, fine, man. Say what you're gonna say. Cause I'd rather you get it out on the table, so then I know how to treat you. That's going forward. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's like, man, you learn how to treat somebody, or you learn how to interact with people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't just off the back just know, okay, well, this is this guy right here. I just met him yesterday, but I know I need to do this. No, you learn those interactions. You learn who you can interact with and how you can interact with people. So, yeah, man, that's my take on it.
Yeah.
I want to add something positive to this whole conversation right now.
I mean, the positive thing is that, you know, I've seen I've seen a lot of positive stuff coming out of it. You know what I'm saying? Floyd Mayweather's paying for the funeral.
Yeah.
Kanye has set up some, he has donated money to the family.
I ain't gonna say a conspiracy because I don't know if it's true or not, but how they say Kanye set up everything.
Yeah, remember I tagged y'all to the post I saw.
Yeah.
And if he did it, then man, shout outs to Kanye. For everyone, what I'm referring to, there was there was a post on Facebook that I came across, and they was saying how GLC, which is a close partner of Kanye, I don't know how close they are anymore.
Yeah,
but GLC used to be a pretty close partner of him, and GLC was kind of saying how, you know, Kanye pretty much swerved Donald Trump to kind of do everything he wanted to, like Kanye was saying that he only put this MAGA hat on so that he can get the meeting to get that lady free that was down in Florida. Mm-hmm. And then that he hasn't donated a penny to Donald Trump. He hasn't that he donated his money to actually Hillary Clinton. And that pretty much this was all, you know what I'm saying, agenda so that he can do what he wanted to do. So if that's true, then that's some amazing stuff, and shout outs to him.
Yeah.
I haven't to play the system, but I haven't looked into it. I haven't
fact checked it.
Yeah, I haven't fact checked it. So this is all alleged.
Yeah.
But if so, man, shout outs to him. But yeah, I've heard that he's donated to the family, set up a scholarship fund for the daughter. And then I already mentioned that Floyd Mayweather's paying for the funeral.
Yep.
And then the GoFundMe for them, for that family, got like $13 million?
Yeah, something like that. I ain't looked at it. Last I looked at it was like $4 million. So
yeah,
that was
maybe,
probably 2 weeks ago. 2 or 3 weeks ago.
So that is amazing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And regardless, like I say, man, regardless of whatever his record was, that's not irrelevant because he's not here anymore. You can't fight. He can't, you know, I don't get why people argue with a dead man. It's the stupidest stuff in the world.
Yeah.
So to bring up his record is man, that's some low down gutter street rat stuff. And I hate to call, but I'm being honest. Like, don't go pulling a man record. If you don't want to support, stand over there in the corner.
Just don't say nothing.
Sip your tea. Like I said, and be quiet. There's no point. There's no point nothing. Right now. You understand? Because if
anything good,
hey, because right now, man, because hey, they showing you real quick right now that hey, forget this, we done with it. Especially shout out to the mayor in Washington D.C. who wrote on the ground Black Lives Matter all the way up to the White House. Shout out to that. And yeah, man, absolutely. So I'm gonna hop up on my soapbox because I don't know. That probably sounds because I could have been a lot worse. But
is it like it's there? It's built up. Me and my wife talk about it all the time. I talked about it with friends and stuff like that. Shout out to my homeboy Jimmy. Jimmy called me and I was able to talk to him about what's going on, and it really made me feel better. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to him. Hopefully he listens and hear it. If not, I'm gonna text him anyway. Be like, hey, bro, listen.
Absolutely.
Anyway, but I've heard some things that I'm gonna kind of like shift gears a little bit. Snoop Dogg is voting for the first time in his life.
Congratulations, man.
This next election. So I just like I can't. My wife is the one that made me take voting seriously. When we first got together, she would tell me how important. Like she would get mad at me for not being interested in voting and stuff like that. So
I am not a voter.
I mean, like for me, it like when she explained it to me, and because I never took the time out to listen to what people are talking about, but the way she explained it to me was the people that are around you is the most important one. So the local elections are the most important ones to vote for because there you're voting for the people that votes for the president. You know what I'm saying? And they're more the people that are around you. Like you vote for the people that's more like-minded to you, or that will benefit you more the most. And so it's like now we take time out to actually talk about who's running and things that we would like and the things that they're talking about. So shout out to Snoop, man, for voting. Steve, you need to start voting, man.
Hey, look, I might one day, but at this current moment,
probably one of the best things and saddest things. Today is Prince's birthday, June 7th. It's Prince's birthday, and I say it's a sad thing because we don't have the legend with us. He passed away a few years ago. But Prince turned, I think, 62 or would have turned 62 on June 7th. So happy birthday to a legend. And if you haven't, I didn't listen to any Prince today, but I probably listen to it tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You got to throw some Prince on.
Definitely. But that's all the news that I have for this week, bro.
Yeah, man. So, hey, if you're out there and you're a voter, go vote. But pay attention to what's going on, man.
Right, definitely. Just don't go out there and vote. People. Just be voting.
Don't, man, look at, man, forget these parties, man. Vote for who has, the best interest in you.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I'm just not a voter.
Yeah.
I never wanted to vote after I figured out what the electoral college was.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later, man.
hey, just being honest. So,
yeah, I feel you, man.
So, for this episode, like we told y'all before, this is Black Music Month, African American Music Month, actually. And for these for this month during these episodes, we're gonna be doing a spotlight. If you follow the Speaker Giga Podcast Facebook page,
please go
Instagram page. Please make sure you follow. But if you have been following, you have noticed that we have been putting up some pictures and some history lessons for this week R&B groups, people who went solo, but they started with an R&B group. Shout outs to all of those Black entertainers from who we got. We got Charlie Wilson, who started with the Gap Band
With the
and
Gap
then
Band, Uncle
became
Charlie.
Uncle Charlie. Hey girl, how you doing? My name is Charlie. Hey, if you love some Charlie, then that's the reason. Also, man, Cisco from Drew Hill. There's a lot of y'all with the thong song running around.
Yeah, right. That's the first thing I think about.
I see you. Never seen you talk. But, of course, he started with Drew Hill, so that was amazing. Shout out to Beyonce, of course. Beyonce, who was, of course, started with Destiny Child, then went solo. Also, Patti LaBelle as well. Gladys Knight. Who else we got?
New Edition. You got Bobby.
Yeah, man. You got Bobby, Johnny Gill,
BBD.
Well, they were still a group.
I mean, they're a group, but a group went to a group because they could. Anyway, you got them and
Immature. Marcus
Houston.
And man, it's a host of others.
Diana Ross with the Supremes.
Absolutely. We can keep going and going.
Yeah, we can go
forever. That is our Black Music Month, African Music Month spotlight on the show. Yeah. So be looking out for next week's spotlight, and then also follow the page and see who we're gonna spot, which part of the genre, who we're gonna spotlight next. Yeah. So man.
Definitely, man. Definitely. I honestly, personally, I appreciate the Black Music Month, but let's get right into it, man. Like we said all this to get here, to talking about Black Music Month. Now, getting prepared to do this show and really talk about what's going on with the Black Music Month, where it came from and stuff. I was like actually trying to figure out how do we present this, or do we just talk about it? And I feel like it just came up to me to just talk about it, man. To honestly just say, it started in June of 1979. Surprising,
June 7th.
Yeah, surprising to me, President Jimmy Carter is the one that actually like pronounced it, or put it out there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But he never signed it into law or whatnot. So in 2000, it was officially signed into law. I had it up, but it was like HR 509, House of Representatives 509. You can actually look that up, and it was signed into law. So officially, Black Music Month or African American Music Month is in June officially.
Along with Juneteenth.
Yep, Juneteenth as well. Please go celebrate those things. So what Black Music Month was started for two reasons. The first was it came about in conversation because President Nixon created, or not even gonna say created, but announced Country Music Month, which is in October. So why can't we have a Black Music Month? Is the conversation that came up. So that's where the idea of having a Black Music Month came up. Now, the purpose of Black Music Month, from my understanding, is just the celebration of Black music, because it pretty much, and from my eyes, it's where we get everything else. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the music that we listen to today, or I'm gonna say all of the music that we listen to today, sparked from Black music from years ago. So it's just a celebration all month.
Yeah, man. All month long.
I feel like me and you celebrate Black music every week.
Do it every single week and every day. So
every day, every week. You know?
Absolutely. You know what's crazy though? It wasn't signed. It wasn't signed off on until the year 2000. Yeah. So that's that's interesting.
That is
from
wild.
1970, from 1979 all the way to 2000, it hasn't been signed on. It was officially signed on in the year 2000.
Right.
Yeah. Interesting.
One thing that a question that popped up for me is how do you celebrate Black Music Month? Like I couldn't find any information on the celebration of how is it expected to be celebrated during Black Music Month. Like, do you just listen to Black music? Do you just say, "Oh, I like this Black music"? What do you do?
Man, in my opinion, I think you just listen, enjoy, share with people anything of interest. You know, I think it's a time to share your interest. I saw one of my homegirls, DJ Crop Top, we call her Tot, but she posted, you know, in celebration of Black History, you know, Black Music Month.
Yeah,
she actually posted, you know, saying a song from Nipsey Hussle. But I think that, you know, it's time to share your favorites, favorite artists. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be hip hop and rap. This also includes rock and roll, rhythm and blues, jazz, R&B. But I think it's a time just to listen, celebrate, and just enjoy and share amongst each other, different artists and the culture, and just kind of, you know, enjoy it. Like literally, I think that's how it should be done. I know BET does a rollout for it, but I don't watch BET, so I don't know what it looks like. It's been a long time, but I think this time is just, man, just enjoy and learn and get educated, because honestly, you know, African American music, Black music, however you want to say, has been, you know what I'm saying, a big contributor to our music, I would say. And that's pretty much.
I have that same. I just didn't know how to really just say, because, you know, with birthdays we celebrate them with a party. You know what I'm saying? With anniversaries, we celebrate anniversaries with some type. Either sometimes it's a gift, you go somewhere, you go out to eat, you do something with some type of action. So in celebration, to me, requires some type of action. I couldn't pinpoint that action. So because it's
you can party.
I could, and I mean, yeah, but it's like, I feel like you do something different from your everyday, and it's like, for me, I'm always listening to, well, not even now more, just because I'm trying to listen to more newer music, but I'm always listening to older music I grew up on, music I was in college with, you know, music that my parents grew up on, and stuff like that. So it's like I'm always appreciating it. So from my standpoint, how do I appreciate it more? And, you know, I think just doing what you said is a way for me to celebrate it even more than how I do it, and passing the word on to other people is the best way for me to do that. Another thing that popped up while I was looking up a lot of stuff, cultural appropriation. Now, that popped up because my thoughts of having a Black Music Month and knowing how important Black music was or is to the world. Man, you have where, you know, Little Richard music was stolen, and like people did the same song he did, and you know, like Black people's music was stolen and their style is stolen. And even today, I think Bruno Mars was the biggest one that Bruno Mars, which I don't find that to be cultural appropriation, but what are you talking about? You got Justin Timberlake, sometimes Robin Thicke, you know, and that's just to name a few that's off the top of my head. But with those artists, could you say cultural appropriation is an appreciation for Black music if they're not stealing the music? Because back in the day, they were stealing the music, putting out the same exact song and getting paid off of that, you know, where they haven't done any work.
We can't forget to mention Elvis. Just want to let y'all know.
Right. Elvis probably the biggest cultural appropriated, like he's a thief.
Yeah.
You know, as great of an artist as he is, because I ain't gonna take no talent from him, because he was a great entertainer. He stole songs.
Yeah, and that's how they, did back in the day, because they didn't think that, African Americans cross over. Yeah. So they would take it, water it down, still have the Beach Boys singing. Yeah. Singing it, and it sounds horrible. Not that no slight on the Beach Boys though. I don't. But I'm just saying. Honestly, when you bring up cultural appropriation, then there's there's no way, there's no appreciation to that. Yeah. But can our music be performed by others in other races and it be appreciated? I think so. Yeah. I think it can. I think it really depends on the intentions behind. If you are, if you're doing it with a good heart and you really enjoy it and you want to be a part of the culture and want to understand it, then fine. But if you're doing it solely to get some money, get some shine, or to, like you said, take anything for your personal gain, then no, absolutely not. It can't be, then it's not done in a good way. It really just depends on the heart behind that artist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, so how would you define cultural appropriation? I feel like we got to define it first before we can say if it's an appreciation for it or not.
And that's something that I have to look up the official definition for. Because, man, that is a good point. And I'm trying to find real quick. Trying to see what it says, trying to spell it as quick as possible.
Yeah.
But
it's cool.
So the definition that I have, and this is per Wikipedia, so I don't know if this is totally accurate, but let's go with it. But it says at times also phrase cultural misappropriation is the adoption of an element or elements of one culture by members of another culture. This can be controversial when members of a dominant culture appropriate from a disadvantaged minority cultures. So when you get to that definition, then no. You know what I'm saying? No. It can't be done in a good way right. When your culture is appropriating something. Because by that definition, it sounds like you're invading and you're taking. So no. Not if we're looking at it solely as cultural appropriation. But if, hey, if it's something where, you just enjoying the music, you perform it in celebration of Black, Music Month, African American Music Month, and not to, so, not for a different agenda, then yeah, it can be done with some celebration. It just really, really depends. Cause I'll be honest, I know there's a cookout somewhere where it's a white boy that's dancing and everybody's like, yeah, and he comes to have fun.
Yeah.
Whereas, you might have, I'm just pulling out some crazy examples where you may have, hey, the white girl taking moves from an all black cheerleading squad to use it with her cheerleading squad. Didn't that happen in
Bring It On?
It might, but you know what I'm saying. And that's the point. Like, it's not to. Hey, it's facts though. This happens.
Facts.
They have shown it, and people have gotten caught trying to do it, and it's like trash. And you're like, when people do it and don't shout out where it came from, then that's an issue too.
I think that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When people, because it's
just say where you got it from,
right? I feel like I take Justin Timberlake for example, right?
Man, that used to be my dog until he messed up with Janet.
You know what I'm saying? He's from Memphis, and Memphis was a hub for music, like the Black music sound, and it has its, even today it has its own distinct sound and culture within the music. And so he grew up there. This dude is talented.
Yeah.
What music would you expect him to do? Because and that's why I look at cultural appropriation as, I see it two sides of it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you
look at that definition, then it's not a two sides. You just slick invading for your personal gain.
but
like what you said, coming from Memphis, you would be like, okay, I understand. And I think at the beginning, we was like, all right, this is a white boy with some soul.
Yeah.
And everybody was fine with it until probably the Janet situation where
I didn't even know about this Janet situation. Like I missed it. I turned around when it happened. So
it was all over TV.
I'm still upset with myself, man.
But when it happened and the backlash that Janet got, and see, it's more than just the music at some point, because the backlash that Janet got, and then the fact that he didn't come to her aid at all. Like, you didn't hear a peep from him.
Yeah.
And, you know, at that point, you're kind of like, all right, bro, you ain't really here for us. You're just here to do the music. It's fine, you're talented, we understand, but you're just here for your personal, you know, for your personal gain. Is that completely true? I don't know, but that moment in time when you look at it, you're kind of like, dang. Like, everybody was waiting for him to say something to stick up for Janet. But he didn't. He absolutely didn't. And I think at that point, that's where we pretty much was like, nah, bro, we ain't rocking with you no more. Everybody pretty much turned their backs on him.
Yeah.
So, and that doesn't take away from his talent at all, man. The guy's incredible.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
You know, it's a, you know, false move and you in deep water. You know what I'm saying? And he still hasn't, I don't think I still haven't heard nothing from him about Janet since.
I mean, at this point, he's probably not going to say anything about Janet, but yeah. I mean, but it's still like, man, like the way I feel is, you know, like I look at Eminem. Eminem definitely didn't culture. He's not, I don't even know how to say it in this tense, but he's not a culture vulture when it comes to, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Dame for calling it culture vulture.
Right. I can't say it any other way, but I don't feel like he's that, because he came in and it was his lifestyle that he did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And he bad with it. But you also seen M take up, you know, his artists, the people he put on, they were all, you know, he gave back to the culture. It wasn't like he just, you know,
right. But those are the people that he hung around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's another thing when you don't hang around black people, but you listen to it. Because maybe you know what I'm saying, or maybe you don't have an end into the culture, and the only way you can get into it is, well, I'm gonna sing this song that they sing, and so I guess the thing for it is, or the appreciation comes when you say, hey, I got this song from this person, and you know, that's what
show some love, man, and that's really what it's all about.
Showing some love.
Hey, this was inspired by, you know, Sunset Song.
Got you. See, now that makes sense. You know I'm glad we had this conversation.
Yeah, like it's like, but you know what? It ain't just, you know, folks. You know, it ain't just white folks.
It ain't just white people. Yeah,
culture appropriate. They can be different races that come in and try to, you know what I'm saying, take the sound and act like they had no clue or they invented it or whatever. And it ain't just about the music. It's hairstyles, it's style of dress. It's a lot. But you know, kind of going back to that whole point of what we were just discussing, you know, it really depends on that person's intentions.
Yeah.
If you're coming in here to take and not to give back, then hey, it's an issue. You know, that's stealing, because at some point this will give you a lot of reward if you're doing it right, and you know what I'm saying, the right people hear you. But if you're not giving back, man, then that's a problem.
Yeah.
Like, that's a problem. And I mean, you know, it's to each his own, but
what community do you give back to?
And I mean, well, when I talk about the community, I'm talking about,
or when you say give back, who do you give back to? What do you give back?
If you got your inspiration from a particular artist, give back to them. You can just shout them out. Like,
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, you know, the simplest things.
Like, slide them a 5 or something, man.
I mean, you can do that too. That's, you know, that's clearly up to you. But like,
yeah,
if you took, you know, let's stay on the topic of Memphis. If you took something from Memphis that, you know what I'm saying, gave it that soul and turned into something great for you, then at some point you shouldn't just, go on there and act as if you invented it all. At some point, you're going to be like, man, I got all this inspiration and feel from, such and such in Memphis. Like, keep it 100, because you may be bigger than that person you took that inspiration from. And at that point, like, you could probably be helping them off of the originator. You could be helping the originator that you got your style from. And, you can help them, make them a buck to take care of their family. Yeah. And I don't know. I think you should have responsibility to do that. Do you have to? Nah. I mean, you can still keep it pushing. But, there's going to be some ramifications when people, figure things out.
I feel like the biggest part is you stand up for you, like, let's say the Temptations inspired a group, right?
Yeah.
And, the Temptations stopped making music in the 80s. And, they haven't made new music since, I think, the 80s. So you grow up and you listen to the Temptations. Now you have, like, you have a lot of your ideas from the Temptations and everything like that. Mm-hmm. I feel like the genre of, or this platform you have built, you have a duty as an artist, as an entertainer, to speak. You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes you not a culturally appropriating, because you're not speaking up for the culture that basically pays your bills.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't feel like somebody that does music, does R&B, or somebody that raps, is quote unquote culturally, is a culture vulture, but you definitely have to use your platform to better Americans and the ideas of Americans and the beliefs that you believe in that are similar to the beliefs of majority of Americans, that it should be. Right is right, wrong is wrong. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
That's my thoughts on that. Hey, but one last thing, man, and this conversation it really means a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? Black Music Month, and like really paying attention to it, and even with everything that's going on has really grinded my thoughts and everything towards this topic. But why is it important to have a Black Music Month, and why is it important today to celebrate it?
I mean, shoot, it's important because hey, without us, a lot of y'all don't have no music.
Yeah.
Not to, come in and calculate that, but it's important because, hey, African American music is a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. A lot of it has been like number one on a lot of the charts, and I believe, I believe that it deserves its own appreciation and shine. It's put a lot of food on a lot of people's tables. It's made a lot of people bosses. It's made a lot of people a lot of money. It's given a lot of people hope. It's given a lot of people a direction out of their situation. And a lot of people love it. So why not? Yeah. Why not? I mean, shoot, we got celebrations for a lot less crap, like, National Hot Dog Day. Like,
National Hot Dog Day.
I'm just bringing
I don't eat hot dogs.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just bringing up stuff that exists. Like,
yeah,
we got months for other stuff or days for other stuff. Why not? Yeah. Why not give? Why not shed a light on something that has been revolutionary and then has also changed people's lives? Yeah, giving people something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, I mean, shoot, that's all the reasons I think it should be celebrated.
One reason, like just thinking about it, just random thoughts. One reason that I feel like it should be celebrated, and it should be celebrated today and forever going forward, is the same way that I feel like Barack Obama should be celebrated. First Black president of the United States of America. I feel like that's a big step for America. And within America, these entertainers, these artists are some of the first entertainers a lot of people got to see. Got to like, as a kid, you go to your concert, the first concert you see is one of the people that's your favorite artist. Or back in the day when radio was huge, you got all these kids listen to the radio, and then you get to hear somebody that you know on the radio. You know what I'm saying? So you're so excited because now you can get your, you have somebody that did it before you. So that means that you can go do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's an inspiration thing. These are some of the first millionaires that Black people have ever heard of.
Yeah, and they bring a real change to a lot of people.
Right. It's changing. Like you said, it's changing. It's bringing money. It's putting food on people's table. It's providing for in a way that never has been seen before. And this is one of the first ways that people have saw that. So I feel like it's important today because of what we're fighting for today. You know what I'm saying? We're fighting for the injustices that we're still living through. And because we're still fighting for that, we have to celebrate some of the feats that we've already done. Like literally, bruh, music was Black stamped and taken from, like, we have music going all the way back to slavery. The Negro spirituals.
Yep.
We have that going all the way back to it, and it being stolen from us, and we're still out doing things. We're still out producing legends, getting better, improving it. Hip hop, completely Black, from the pioneers of hip hop to the people that recreated a movement. You know what I'm saying? Tribe Called Quest, Common, Arrested Development, groups like that, Queen Latifah, you know what I'm saying? People that like change from one type of hip hop to, I'm gonna give this type to what we have now. So I feel like that's why it should be celebrated, or that's the why, or that's my why. I'm starting going forward. It's gonna be a major thing for me, So
yeah. And I mean, it's gotten a lot of people through a lot of stuff, and it ain't just hip hop. I mean, shoot.
I bring up hip hop because
we got rock and roll.
That's why you're right. Chuck Berry,
R&B. I mean, shoot, we can keep going in the contributions that we have.
Country music, classical music.
Yeah, what
jazz, the whole
African
thing about
Americans
jazz
all
is
over.
Black. Gospel music.
All of it. So. It's very important. I think the strides that we have made within, music alone, we have some incredible artists.
Yeah. Amazing.
That, we're going to be sharing throughout the week as well on the official Speaker Geekers podcast.
Yeah.
Pages on Instagram and Facebook. So man, check out all that. Hey, I'm going to let you know. You said Barack Obama. I'm going to let you know, though. There was a man named John Hanson. So yeah, just letting you know.
Oh, okay.
Dude, hey, that was the first Black president.
He on the $2 bill too, right?
His name was John Hanson. Just letting you know.
Okay, sir. Okay, he should be celebrated too, as well.
Absolutely,
as well. So.
Absolutely, but but yeah, man. African American Music Month is an amazing thing, and it's crazy because I knew about it, but we haven't. I don't think we've done it any justice, and I believe it need to be celebrated more. So we'll see what happens in the future.
We definitely will see what happens in the future. But for me personally, I'm going to make sure that I celebrate it like I should. But yeah, man. So guys. Black Music Month, African American Music Month. You guys go celebrate it. It's vitally important to the culture. It's vitally important to America. It's important to the world because our music went past these borders and it has reached and been reaching the world.
Hey.
So all over the world, people have been listening to Black music, African American music. So make sure to go celebrate it. Make sure to have those conversations about your favorite artists, people who inspired you to do things, and stuff like that. And do research. Find out about these artists. Find out about their inspiration and listen to the people that inspired them. And I think that'll be good, man. Just figure out how you can celebrate it and do that. So,
because music has no boundaries.
Nope.
At all.
Music knows no.
It brings so
boundaries.
many people together, and hey, I love a lot of music.
Right.
Yeah.
And with that being said, guys, I want to thank you guys for listening to another episode of the Speaker Geekers podcast. This episode has been produced by 3Amp Media. And if you haven't already, please go subscribe to the YouTube page, Speaker Geekers Podcast. Go follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Speaker Geekers Podcast. You can follow me on Instagram at I am Tommy T the third 3RD, and you can follow Steve on Instagram at the Great Steve-O Steve. And wherever you listen to podcasts, please hit the subscribe button on there too. And so you can know when the new episode drop. It's going to drop every Tuesday, but you'll get the notification and whatnot. Like, share, and subscribe, guys.
Yeah.
What else you got, Steve-O?
Don't be a Candace Owens.
Huh?
Don't be a Candace Owens. Please don't.
Yeah, please don't. Okay. Don't. Like if it's nothing, if you have nothing to give to the conversation, just stand on the sideline, try to figure it out, or ask questions. I'd rather you ask questions than make dumb statements.
Absolutely. In the words of my brother T.I., you came in with a bunch of bullshit. That's what Tip said.
That's what Tip said.
Go back and look it up. You'll see.
I saw that, bro. They was going back and forth. But anyway, guys.
Look, man. Goodness gracious. Check out that Cornerstone speech, too.
Yeah.
That's a doozy.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
And listen to a bunch of African American music this month.
There you go.
Just
and also look on our pages. And like Steve said, man, all month we're gonna be posting different pictures and different information about different Black artists who inspired us, as well as the world. Some of the pioneers from the different genres in music. And so look out for it. Comment, like, share it. Do all those good things, man.
Man, it's been a minute since it was just us two.
It has been, man.
Yeah.
It has been.
But it's all good. Guess coming back very soon. Hope y'all enjoyed all that.
Yeah. So, but I'm out, man. Peace.